Hi everyone, my name is Alex. Today I'm going to be reviewing two new sunscreens from Byoma, their Face Fluid SPF 30 and their Face Fluid SPF 50. I bought both of these products. I wanted to review them together because they seem to be very similar, just with a higher concentration of SPF, and I'm wanting to compare them, see what the differences are, see which one I would personally reinvest in. Byoma has a sunscreen. That one seemed to be more moisturizing. I think this one is supposed to be more lightweight, just given by the title. But I'm excited to see how it feels. Every time a brand releases a new SPF, I'm not sure how to feel with American-based filters. I'm not the biggest fan of those myself. If you know you have a sensitivity to American chemical-based filters, definitely avoid these sunscreens. They are both vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, alcohol-free, and they come in recyclable packaging. Ingredient list-wise, they look very similar. They use the same American chemical-based filters. One thing I did notice about the ingredient list is they use olive oil, which is lower on the ingredient list. I am someone who has been hit or miss with having acne with using olive oil in my skincare. Some products cause it, some products don't. So it's really depending on everyone's individual acne and the product formulation for me. So just be mindful of that. I have listed off the full ingredients to both sunscreens in the description, and you can also click the link to go to their website. The big things I'm going to be looking for with each of these products. I'm wanting to see what the finish is on each of them. How do they compare? Which one am I personally going to gravitate towards? Is the SPF 50 heavy, and is the SPF 30 light enough to justify not getting that extra level of protection? I would also recommend following creators that look like you to see how the sunscreen will perform on your skin tone. This is a chemical-based sunscreen. There is still a chance it could leave a white cast, so I'm not sure, haven't tried out this product yet, but I would recommend following creators that look like you. I also want to see if they cause any acne. As for anything else, I'm going to be doing check-ins on both of these sunscreens. I may do a comparison. I'm not sure how I'm going to lay out this video yet, but I will be keeping you posted on all of these products. I'm here in natural light to give you a first impression with the SPF 50 sunscreen. I think how I've decided I'm going to do this video is I'm going to do one sunscreen, another sunscreen, and then apply half to each side of my face and do a full comparison of that. One thing that I'm kind of on the fence about, I like the packaging. I like that they took the typical Byoma packaging and made it a squeeze bottle. I just feel like there are a couple of faults with it. Like, first off, just always be careful when you're taking it off because the packaging does get kind of messy, and in theory it works good, but when it was shipping it did kind of burst a little bit, so I'm not sure if that's just like a me problem. It comes out very nice and very easy, and I like that aspect. Just when you pop the cap off, just be careful. May have been better to do a twist off with this. I'm not sure. I'm not a packaging expert, but this is the 50. So, wow. That feels very nice and feels very fluid-like. If the SPF 50 gives me, if I'm able to personally get away with it, if the finish isn't too bad, then I'm gonna use that, because oftentimes I like to go for a higher concentration of SPF. I'm gonna get out a 1/4 teaspoon. This is a fluid sunscreen. I'm always sure to apply just a little bit more. I don't know, it's looking a little bit heavy when I got out the proper amount. Please follow creators that look like you to get an accurate depiction of this product, because I am able to get away with a lot more. Obviously, if a product leaves a white cast or any signs of it on me, then it is not gonna work for someone with deeper skin. But that's why I always recommend to follow creators that look like you. Smells like a typical sunscreen. I do have some facial hair right now, so we're really gonna be able to test this out. Very moisturizing, but also extremely lightweight, like feeling. It definitely is a little bit more dewy when it comes to finishes. Not bad. A little bit, ooh, okay, a little bit of stinging around my eyes. It is a chemical filter sunscreen, so I was kind of expecting that. Just from what I've heard other people saying, it's been hit or miss whether or not I experience burning, but this one does burn slightly around my eyes. It's very dewy, I must say. We'll see how this wears. Feel wise, it doesn't feel heavy or greasy considering it is an SPF 50. You can see there the dew it's obvious. I didn't apply a moisturizer before this. I just went right in with this SPF, which is abnormal for me. I usually don't do that, but it doesn't provide a ton of extra moisturization. So I feel like any skin type could use it. Ultimately, with how lightweight it feels, I wouldn't say that oily skin couldn't use it. It may make you look greasy. Like, don't hold me to that, because I mean, this is not something that I feel like oily skin would potentially benefit from, but you could potentially skip a moisturizer and go for this because it is lightweight feeling. I love a dewy sunscreen, so I'm kind of eating this up. I will keep you posted though. I'm gonna be trying out the SPF 30 as well and just seeing which one I prefer. Let's do a check-in on the SPF 30. Honestly, the SPF 50 was very light as I was wearing it, so I'm excited to see what the comparison is, what the difference is, because it looks very similar on paper. Okay, maybe it's just my memory. It feels the exact same. Maybe when it's on my face, it will leave a little bit less of a dewy finish. I'm not seeing many differences with this. It was very dewy, I must say. The 50 was pretty nourishing and I don't want to say intense, but like just a little bit more dewy. It felt very lightweight, don't get me wrong. This is blending about the same, maybe a little bit less hydration. Like, it's feeling practically the same. I'm really trying to split hairs here, trying to find a difference. It's doing the same in facial hair. Just have to be careful to blend that and get it worked into the skin. That is something, it literally looks the same. Look at that dew. Look at that hydration. Maybe I haven't done enough research about this. I'm not at the moment understanding, but I will be doing a full side-by-side comparison because this is solely off of memory. But I'm not understanding the difference in these two launches. Why launch two sunscreens? The SPF 30 may work better for deeper skin tones, or they may have been taking that into consideration. So I don't want to completely knock that because I haven't seen any other reviews of this so far. But I mean, from my perspective, the white cast is about the same with either product, at least in my facial hair, and I can't testify for everybody. So maybe that is why they launched it. I would be interested to see other creators' impression of this because unless it's for the white cast, I don't see a point in releasing two formulas. Very dewy. Very dewy. It is practically the same. It feels the same. The 50 didn't feel heavy. This feels exactly the same. I would, at the moment, lean towards the 50. Definitely recommend following creators that look like you to get an accurate depiction of that. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's do half a face with one SPF and then half a face with another. Because I'm not gonna lie, both of these, through wearing them, have felt the exact same. To me, at least. I've worn both a few times throughout the day. Neither of them have been causing acne, and the finish is just very similar. We're gonna really put that to the test today. I'm going to apply the SPF 30 on this side, and I'm gonna apply the SPF 50 on this side. Can't testify for the cast on that. I'm gonna apply the same amount to both sides. So this side, apply this. Probably should have done like a division line or something, but I'm watching it. We're gonna keep it just on this side. I'm seeing the dew. Like, I mean, my skin has a little bit of hydration because I went in with a moisturizer before this, but okay. There is one side. So this is my first time doing this. So tell me if I'm doing this incorrect or wrong. SPF 50 time. I mean, this feels very lightweight, but the SPF 50 did as well. They are the exact same color. Blend over here with the SPF 50. Yeah, these feel the exact same. It's the same. Like, they look the exact same. It is unclockable either way. I really am not sure what the big difference is. So I would want to see this on deeper skin tones to see if the SPF 50 would be more universal. Because if that's not the case, then I get why they released the SPF 30 and the 50. But ultimately, as someone who tries to get as much sun protection as possible, and I'm not the best at reapplying throughout the day, I feel like I would go for the SPF 50 because you are getting that extra level of protection. Finish wise, feel wise, everything, both sides of my face feel the same. Everything feels the same. They're looking the same to me. No cast, no extra greasiness. At the moment, I would go for the SPF 50. I mean, that is just really, I don't really see a point in not doing that, but if it does leave a cast is the only time I would recommend the 30. I'm personally gonna discontinue use with the SPF 30 now, just because I'm seeing they're the same, they've been wearing the same. I'm just gonna keep using the SPF 50 because that is the one I am most interested in at the moment. I'm back to give you all my final thoughts on both of these sunscreens. First of all, comparing them, almost neck and neck, similar to me at least. I would love to see this reviewed by different creators with different skin tones to see if this is a universal experience, because from my perspective, I don't see a reason for the SPF 30 and the SPF 50. I feel like both of them delivered a very similar finish to the skin. I couldn't notice a difference between the two when I wore them, and honestly, they felt the exact same. So I did discontinue use with the 30 about halfway through this trial. I just continued using the 50, saw if it broke me out, which it didn't. And what I love about this, this review is coming from the perspective of the SPF 50, but honestly, I didn't see much of a difference with either. The only reason I would invest in the 30 is if you've tried the 50 and it just left a cast, or you felt it was too greasy. I am a little bit more dry right now, and I am someone who loves a dewier finish to a sunscreen. So that is the perspective of where this review is coming from. With that being said, I love a dewy sunscreen that feels lightweight and doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and that's exactly what this SPF 50 did for me. First off, no new breakouts, no new acne. Very happy about that, no new texture either. The SPF 50 left a really beautiful lightweight finish that was a little bit more moisturizing on the skin, but what I love about it is it gave a glow. It didn't feel greasy, didn't feel tacky, and that remained true as I continued to wear it throughout the day. Now, it's not water resistant. If you're wanting a water resistant formula like this, the Naturium SPF 50 Antioxidant Glow Sunscreen is definitely the way you want to go. It gives a little bit more of a glow to the skin. I noticed that to be true the more I would wear it, and it is water resistant. So if you are looking for that and you want to use this product, but you're wanting a water resistant version, that is where I'd recommend turning to. This product felt amazing. I experienced no pilling, little bit of stinging around the eyes, which is kind of to be expected with some chemical formulations. Now, I'm not usually someone though who experiences that with more chemical formulations, so that may be something to note with this. It wasn't something that was too bad, it was just kind of when I was first applying it. If you've experienced that with other formulations with these filters in it, then that just is to be expected. It's kind of exciting for me because it leaves a very lightweight finish, and nothing can compare to the Korean chemical filters that I love, but this felt very similar. It feels kind of similar to the prequel lightweight sunscreen that is comparable to other Korean formulations but uses American chemical filters. The reason I brought that up is it is very close texture-wise, but the prequel broke me out. This product didn't. So I do love that this product was the alternative for that to me. I feel like the SPF 50 will be kind of the sunscreen that I turn to, which right now when I'm filming this review, there is a big question mark on Korean chemical sunscreens on whether they will continue to be able to be sold in the United States, and if they are, if the prices are going to skyrocket. There's no telling with it, and so I wanted to bring this up specifically because it's very relevant to right now. This is a sunscreen that I would see myself going for if Korean chemical sunscreens ever were not accessible in the US. That is a bold claim. I mean, there are tons of sunscreens that I love that are American based, but this one has to be one of my favorites because it checks off all the boxes in what I look for. Lightweight, more of a dewy finish that leaves a nice glow, doesn't pill, kind of balancing, doesn't leave my skin feeling feeling dry, but also doesn't leave my skin feeling overly greasy. And so I really fell in love with this formulation. I feel like it is a great sunscreen formula. I would just recommend going for the 50 unless you do experience a cast with the 30, because I'm just someone who prefers getting more sun protection. This was lightweight, so it did reapply very nice. It was very lightweight for an American chemical-based sunscreen, and just keep in mind this review is solely coming from my perspective. The 30 wasn't a bad product. I'm definitely going to use it. I just would prefer, since they seem to have a very similar finish, to use the 50 because it gives me that extra level of protection. Overall, a wonderful formula attached to this sunscreen, and I would 100% recommend trying it. This is a great price point as well. Packaging is the only thing. I did experience a little bit of leaking with the packaging just because I think the twist off would have been better for this. The pull off kind of makes some of the product go all over the place. That's just personal experience with this, but I mean, very minor complaint with that. I will use a product no matter what packaging if I love the formula, and that is what I noticed with this. I love their take on a squeeze tube product because it fits with the byoma aesthetic and everything that they do, but it is just couple minor errors with it, but nothing too serious. I will still use this product because I love the formula, and I am personally going to go for the 50 going forward. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe because I post new videos every week, and I will see you all in the next review.